Okay, it's Tuesday on the show, and you know what that means. It's time for it's time to do the Raw review. This is the go home show for Backlash this Saturday night. I'll go over everything that you need to know about what happened on Raw, my review, my take. There was some good, there was some bad, and there was some ugly. So, an SUV pulled up in the arena as Roman Reigns exited the vehicle, and Raw GM tried to talk to Reigns in his office. Reigns told Pierce to hit his music. Pierce claimed Jacob is not here yet. Seth Rollins walked up to Reigns and stared at him. Rollins told Reigns he was in his way, so Reigns let Rollins walk by him. And Seth Rollins made his entrance dressed in black. As Rollins made his way to ringside, Braun Breaker attacked Rollins from behind. There were WWE officials and ringside and referees at ringside. Braun set Rollins into the steel steps. Rollins got in the ring. Braun broke free and Braun crushed Rollins with a spear. So Rollins sold it like the most painful move ever. And Braun left while the fans chanted one more time for another spear. Rollins was down in the ring, grabbed his ribs. And then the Street Profits also came in. Or that later on. Okay, that's later on. Okay. And then that's later on. And then the Judgment Day was in the clubhouse as Liv Morgan asked Roxanne Perez what Finn Balor was doing in the clubhouse. Perez said she didn't know what Balor was doing. Liv claimed that JD McDonough would take care of Balor tonight. Liv complained about Perez not telling her about it last week, and Perez said she is sorry because she is loyal to the Judgment Day. Liv wanted Roxanne to promise not to keep any secrets from the Judgment Day, and Perez said she promised. So Roxanne's going to turn on the Judgment Day. So, I mean, yeah, she could be a massive babyface, I think. So, I mean, Roxanne's young, so I might as well push her. And then Finn Balor made his entrance for singles action. It was JD McDonough with Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. Later on in the match, Roxanne Perez went out to the ring to watch the match. And then Raquel and Liv walked out there to watch the match as well. JD McDonough got the win. The numbers game with the Judgment Day guys having more people around than them used them well. And this was about Perez proving her loyalty to the Judgment Day. Seth Rollins was interviewed by Jackie Redmond. Rollins said he told the kid last week that you took your chances, you have to be able to finish it. And then El Grande Americano, Rayo and Bravo were interviewed by Brian Saxton in the upper deck. They were doing some Spanish words and trash to fans. Grande said he can't touch original in Mexico, but he can do it here. So maybe he'll find out who the real El Grande Americano is. And then Braun Breaker, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul were chatting backstage. Paul Heyman was there to tell Paul to stay away from Joe Henry tonight and leave him for Theory. Braun and Theory calmed down Paul, who wanted to face Henry. And next it was Rusev, Ethan Page, Penta, and Javon Evans. With Rusev and Ethan Page getting the win. They went 11 minutes. It was a good tag team match full of excitement. With Page pinned the champion Penta, so that will probably lead him to a title shot. And I would hope Penta keeps the title for a little while. After the match, Rusev was smiling, and he shoved Page in the chest with a smile on his face. And then the Judgment Days, JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio were interviewed by Brian Saxon during a break in the upper deck. JD said he was sick of people thinking that Finn Balor did everything for JD's career. JD said that the best thing Balor did was introduce him to Dominic Mysterio. Dom bragged about JD beating Balor and Dom still being the AAA Mega Championship. So this next segment I enjoyed. It was Sol Ruka's contract signing, her official signing to Monday Night Raw. Sol Ruka is so good. So after Sol made her entrance, except I gotta say, Sol Ruka, they need to give her a proper theme song, one that does not sound generic, because like she's a different kind of athlete, and she should have a killer theme song. Because if she's gonna be like a main star, which she should be, she should have a decent theme song. And yeah, that's just me saying. So Raw GM queued up a video showing Sol Ruka's highlights. Pierce handed her a contract to sign and say congratulations. And then Becky Lynch made her entrance as the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lynch complained to Pierce that this was her allotted time. Sol said not everything is about Lynch. That led to Lynch saying that everything is about her. Sol said that everyone knows who Lynch is and she's accomplished. Sol said that Lynch is exactly what everyone says she is. Sol said that Lynch was rude, big-headed B. The fans popped for that. Lynch didn't like that. Ruka signed her contract. Lynch said, "Who are you?" Ruka said if you ever interrupt her again, then Ruka will kick her arse and snatch her soul. Lynch tried to punch. Ruka moved, and Lynch punched Pierce by accident. Soul jumped off the tops, hit a snow snatcher, and yes, she did. She did botch it, but she was able to recover. So this feud should be interesting. Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruka. I think they should have a long. I think they should build this feud up for a little while. Have it go till SummerSlam, and then Sol Ruka can maybe beat Becky Lynch for the IC title, and then Sol Ruka should have a long title reign. But yeah, I like this segment a lot, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka can do. And please, WWE, do not bury Sol Ruka. You need to push her. because she's that great. Oh. And yeah, then the Usos were shown walking backstage with Jackie Redman. Uh, when Jackie Redman asked how they are feeling with the Roman Reigns Jacob Fatu contract signing, Jimmy said that they wouldn't miss this. Jimmy said that Jacob has to understand how the OTC does business, and Jay said that this right here is family business. Jay said Jacob is swimming in deep water and swinging for the fences. Jay said at Backlash, Jacob will find out who he's messing with, and Jay wished little cousin Jacob good luck. And then Joe Henry made his entrance. Henry did his song, Can We Fire Logan Paul? And the fans loved it. And apparently they made a music video of this on the WWE YouTube channel. So, yeah, so if you're interested, you can check that out. It was an entertaining segment. The match itself went 3 minutes after Logan Paul jumped in the ring to attack Joe for the DQ. A short match just to further the story. And then after the match, after the match, Paul and Theory attacked Joe, who tried to fight back. He was overwhelmed. That led to the save by the Street Profits due to Montez and Angelo. The fans popped as soon as they heard the Profits. Ford hit a super kick on Paul and a jumping kick on Theory. Dawkins hit a twisting neckbreaker on Theory. Ford went on top and wanted more, but Braun Breaker showed up. Braun gave Ford back body drop over the top to the floor. Ford clotheslined Dawkins and hit him with a German suplex. Seth Rollins showed up at ringside and sent Braun into the steel steps. Rollins put Braun into the ring and punched him a few times. Rollins clotheslined Braun into the ring, and the fans were getting loud for this. Ford jumped over the turnbuckle. Over the turnbuckle on 3 guys on the floor. Rollins looked at Ford to do that, so Braun was back up and hit a spear on Rollins. And the Judgment Day was interviewed by Jackie Redman. Liv Morgan talked about how they are going after more gold. Raquel talked about wanting the women's tag team championships. And then Bayley and Lyra interrupted to issue a challenge. Liv called them losers. And then Oba Femi was showing he's up next for the open challenge. So Oba Femi entrance is done. As the crowd was going wild, the crowd popped huge. And then the Alpha Academy trio of Akira Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine Dupree answered the challenge. So whatever happened with Maxine Dupree and Natalia? That feud just kind of abruptly ended. And and it didn't really gain any benefit for Maxine Dupree. Because now she's back with the Alpha Academy. So I don't know what is going on with that character. And yeah. Um, So yeah, so the Alpha Academy. So it looks like yeah. So Akira Tozawa got in the ring. Looks like he was about to face Oba. He went face to face with Oba, and then Tozawa got out of the ring, and then Otis came in, and so Femi picked up Otis, tossed the 330-pound Otis across the ring. Femi was thinking about doing the fall from grace, and then looked at the crowd to see if he should. And then Femi lifted Otis to the middle turnbuckle, and Femi hit a fall from grace powerbomb on Otis for the pinfall win, a 2-minute win. And yeah, so far they're doing a good job with Oba. So Seth Rollins was backstage talking to the referee, telling him he don't need to get checked out. The Street Profits and Joe Henry were there. Montez said nobody trusts Rollins because of his past. Rollins said they are in the same past, so who cares? And Rollins said you stay out of his way, and he will stay out of that way, out of the way. Ethan Page did a promo on how he deserves a standing ovation, so the fans booed. Page said he's pinned the current Intercontinental Champion Penta tonight, and Page said he's undefeated on Raw since he's also pinned his pal Javon Evans. Page claims he's forced himself into a title picture, and soon he'll be holding the IC Championship. Page said that the championship is a launching pad to the top, and that's where all ego is heading. Page said we'll hear the phrase "a new IC champion." All ego, Ethan Page. And then Asuka and Io Sky did a face-to-face. I'm guessing this was probably meant for Kairi Sane. There's a video with Asuka and Io sitting in a room backstage where Raw GM Adam Pearce said that they requested this time. They spoke mostly in Japanese as the translators appeared on screen. Sky said that they looked up to Asuka. She looked up to Asuka, but Asuka has changed. Sky said she now has to fight Asuka. Asuka claimed that Sky was disrespectful. Asuka said that Io is the biggest disappointment. And then Asuka said she's done with Sky, and at Backlash she'll cut Sky out of her life for good. Sky says she's ready for Asuka. See, what would have made this better if Asuka would have said, "I got rid of Kairi Sane, and now I'm coming after you," and then that would have got Io even more mad. It would have built up the intensity more, but yeah, but of course they're not going to do stuff like that. But there is rumors that Kairi Sane may come back. See, if Kairi Sane didn't get released, I would see Kairi Sane coming back and then having to pick sides, and she turns on Asuka. I mean, could be good, but I doubt that's going to happen. And the original Americana was interviewed by Jackie Redmond, with the Creed brothers behind him wearing masks. And the original mentioned Chad Gable is still out with an injury, and this has Julian Kreese as a master, Julia Credo. And then El Grande and so it was El Grande Americano and Los Americanos, Rayon Bravo versus the Originals with Julia and with the Creed brothers, and El Grande Americano and Los Americanos won the match in 9 minutes. Solid tag team. And then next was the main event contract signing between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, and this segment was great. Roman Reigns had like a really good contract signing, good promos, and then Jacob Fatu had some good promos back and forth. Reigns told Omaha to acknowledge him. Reigns said he's been here for over 12 years. Reigns said he was the one holding the door open for Solo, so he brought Fatu. Reigns said he'd be damned if there is not respect to be had for him. There is more OTC chance. Reigns said that with respect, there has to be some kind of honor system and a system of conduct. Reigns mentioned the Tonga death grip that Fatu used for desperate measures. Reigns said that you're at the bar surrounded by dudes. That's when you do the Tonga death grip, and you don't do that to your tribal chief. Fatu told Reigns he's got it all wrong. Fatu said it feels like it's just him against the world, and his back is against the rule. Fatu said he has no other choice than to take Reigns out, take this title, and take everything that comes with it. Fatu said he's going to put a chokehold on this game and squeeze out every dollar and cent like this company has done to his family. Reigns signed the contract. Fatu did the Tonga death grip a couple times to try to lock it in, but Roman Reigns got out of it. And then Fatu went for the Tonga death grip again. Pierce tried to break it up. Fatu slammed Reigns onto the table. The table didn't break, but Reigns sold it anyways. Fatu signed the contract while Reigns was down. Can you imagine if there was like a turn of events where Jacob Fatu actually beats Roman Reigns? If the Usos like turn on Roman? I mean, it could be something. And it'll give Jacob Fatu a push. But I don't think that's happening. But I'll be doing a prediction show later on in the week to talk more about that. But that's Raw, everybody. There was a lot of good matches, but there were some good segments. I enjoyed the Becky and Sol and the Reigns and Jacob Fatu. And then the Braun Breaker and Rollins stuff was great. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw, the go home show for Backlash. Yeah, I'll see you Thursday hopefully for a Dynamite review, and then Friday will be the go home show for Backlash for SmackDown. And until then, I'll see you then.